Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Have you ever looked at your loose change and thought it might be hiding a hidden treasure? Well, today you're going to discover the fascinating story behind the 1995 United States $quarter, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but could actually be worth much more than you think. Stay with me, because this coin is not just about its face value, it holds secrets that collectors and coin hunters are absolutely going wild for. If you love rare coins, this video is made just for you. Now here's where things get really interesting. The 1995 $quarter was part of the regular circulation, minted by the millions, but what makes this coin so special isn't just the year. It's the unique and rare errors that came out during production. Some of these coins were struck off-center, others have doubling on the obverse side, especially on the word liberty and in God we trust. And let me tell you, these errors are what drive collectors absolutely crazy. There are also known varieties where the coin has die cracks, or even what's known as cut errors, where a chunk of the die breaks off and leaves a raised, blob-like area on the coin. That kind of mistake turns a 25-cent coin into a rare collectible that can fetch serious value in the right market. In recent years, some of these error quarters have sold in coin shows and auctions in places like Chicago and Las Vegas for amounts that might shock you. One off-center 1995 quarter with strong doubling was once sold for over $125 in a local collector's auction in Texas. And if you find one in perfect uncirculated condition with full luster and those rare error marks, it can go for even higher. For collectors watching this, here's a powerful tip: always inspect your change under good light and preferably with a magnifier. Focus especially on the letters and edges of the coin. Pay close attention to the mint mark too. A 1995 D or 1995 P quarter with visible doubling, sharp details, and nowhere could be the jackpot you didn't even know you were carrying in your pocket. Another golden tip is to store these finds properly. Use coin flips or holders to keep them safe from wear or scratches, because condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. And if you're heading to coin shows or local flea markets, always ask dealers if they've got 1995 quarters with visible errors. Many collectors overlook them, which makes your chances of scoring one even better. What makes this coin truly exciting is that it's still out there. It hasn't been fully hunted down. That means someone watching this video could be the next lucky person to find one. Imagine discovering that a quarter from your old change jar is worth over $200. Yes, that's happened before. A coin found in Pennsylvania was recently graded and sold for $215 due to an incredible die break and a visible double strike. So why is the 1995 quarter gaining so much attention now? The answer is simple: rarity mixed with mystery. The combination of production errors, limited known pieces in top condition, and high demand from error coin collectors make this a hot item in today's collectible market. In conclusion, the 1995 United States $quarter is not just another coin in your pocket, it could be a secret treasure just waiting to be discovered. With rare errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, doubling, and strong mint state condition, this coin can rise from being a common 25 cents to being valued at more than $250 depending on condition and rarity. Some have even reached prices like $280 in private sales or auction houses on the East Coast. So before you toss away that quarter or slide it into a vending machine, take a moment to really look at it. The 1995 quarter might just surprise you, and who knows, it could be your first step into the amazing world of coin collecting, where every coin has a story, and some tell stories worth hundreds of dollars. Top 2, you're going to hear something that could change the way you look at your spare change forever. Because the 1965 United States $quarter is one of those coins that may seem like any other at first glance, but what hides beneath its surface has left collectors and coin hunters in total awe. Don't miss a second of this video, because I'm about to reveal the surprising truth about this coin's value, its rare errors, and why coin lovers are searching through jars, boxes, and even old drawers hoping to find just one 1965 quarter with the right features that can make it worth far more than its face value. Now here's what makes the 1965 quarter so special. this was the very first year the United States Mint stopped making quarters with 90% silver and switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. That single change sparked a major turning point in U.S. coinage history. But what most people don't know is that a few 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on silver planchets, leftover blanks from 1964. That kind of error doesn't just make a coin rare, it makes it a treasure. Imagine holding a 1965 quarter in your hand and realizing it's heavier than normal or has that distinctive silver ring when you drop it on a hard surface. That's a sign it could be a silver error. And let me tell you, collectors are willing to pay big for those rare pieces. In fact, one of these silver error 1965 quarters sold in California for over $7,000 in a major auction, and another example fetched over $8,000 in Florida. That's not just a coin, that's a fortune hiding in plain sight. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Some 1965 quarters have also been found with double die errors where you can see noticeable doubling on the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty." Others show off-center strikes or weak edges where the collar didn't fully press during minting. Every one of these errors adds serious collector value. If you're a collector or even just someone curious about coins, here's a tip that could lead you to your next big find: weigh your 1965 quarters. A normal clad quarter weighs around 5.67 grams, but a silver error will weigh about 6.25 grams. It's a small difference that makes a huge difference in your wallet. And don't forget to listen to the sound. That classic high-pitched silver ring is a clue many overlook. Another tip: always inspect coins under bright light or with a good magnifying lens. Sometimes the difference between a common coin and a rare collectible is in the smallest detail. A crack near the rim, a weak strike on the date, or even a misplaced die mark can mean the coin you're holding is anything but ordinary. Now let's talk about where these coins are popping up. Collectors from cities like Denver, Houston, and even small towns in Ohio have reported finding rare 1965 quarters in old coin rolls, estate collections, and even pocket change that had been sitting untouched for decades. One lucky collector in New York recently discovered a silver 1965 quarter in a roll of old coins and sold it for more than $8,000 at an East Coast auction. That's the kind of discovery that changes everything. So what's the takeaway here? The 1965 United States quarter dollar is a coin with mystery, history, and serious value waiting to be discovered. It's the kind of coin that proves treasure doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes it hides in plain sight among the coins we use every day. In the right condition, and with the right errors, a single 1965 quarter can be worth over $8,000 depending on the market and rarity. Whether it's a silver planchet error, a double die variety, or a unique minting flaw, this coin is not just sought after, it's in high demand by serious collectors across the country. Top 3, we're diving into a quarter that has become a legend among collectors, the 1983 United States quarter dollar. This is not just a coin, it's a piece of American numismatic mystery and value that's catching fire in the collecting world. If you've got one of these hiding in your pocket or stashed in a drawer somewhere, you'll want to pay very close attention to every word of this video because the 1983 quarter has stories that can surprise even the most experienced collectors. Now let's jump into what makes this coin such a hidden gem. First, 1983 was a year when the United States Mint did not release any uncirculated mint sets. That means most of the quarters from this year were put straight into circulation. No protected packaging, no collector's sets, just out into the hands of everyday people, and because of that, finding one in high-quality condition is already a challenge by itself. That's the first sign of rarity, but we're just getting started. What truly skyrockets the value of some 1983 quarters is the presence of striking errors. One of the most desirable errors on the 1983 quarter is the famous double die reverse variety where the word e pluribus unum on the back appears doubled. This isn't just a tiny flaw, it's a bold doubling that jumps right out at collectors. That type of minting error can easily transform a simple quarter into a high-value collectible, but there's more. Some 1983 quarters are also known to be weakly struck or show signs of die deterioration, especially around the rim or in the letters, and these small differences, when combined with strong eye appeal and good condition, make collectors chase them with serious interest. At coin shows, especially in cities like St. Louis and Philadelphia, dealers and hobbyists are constantly on the lookout for clean, sharp examples of the 1983 quarter with visible doubling or high-grade surfaces. Now here's a golden tip for all coin collectors out there. If you come across a 1983 quarter, don't just glance at it and toss it back into the change jar. Check the reverse side under a magnifier and look closely at the text, especially E pluribus unum and the eagle's wings. Look for that doubling and pay attention to how strong the strike is. Even slight signs of doubling or a sharper than usual image could mean you're holding something truly special. Also, don't forget to inspect the overall condition, because 1983 was a rough year for coins. Finding a quarter from this year in mint state condition is extremely rare. If you manage to find one with no visible wear, sharp edges, and full luster, keep it safe and have it professionally graded because the value could be significantly more than you'd expect. One more piece of advice: store these coins properly. Use coin flips or holders and avoid touching the coin with your fingers. The natural oils from your skin can damage the surface over time. And if you're planning to sell, always research recent auction results, especially from coin shows in cities like Dallas or online platforms where collectors are actively buying rare and error coins. So here's the bottom line: the 1983 United States quarter dollar is no ordinary pocket change. It's a coin that tells a story of rarity, historical gaps, and exciting minting mistakes that have created some of the most desirable varieties in modern U.S. coinage. Whether it's the double die reverse or just a flawless mint state example, this coin has captured the attention of collectors across the country, and demand for these coins is growing stronger every year. A 1983 quarter in mint condition with a visible double die reverse has been sold in auctions for as high as $675, and some pieces even reached higher when sold in top condition to private collectors in cities like Los Angeles and Chicago. So don't overlook this coin the next time you come across it, because that simple 1983 quarter might just turn out to be your most valuable find yet. Top 4. I'm going to share with you something truly exciting about the 1967 United States quarter dollar, a coin that might be sitting unnoticed in your change jar or even hiding in an old box in your attic. But this isn't just any quarter. This is one of those coins that collectors are constantly on the hunt for because of its surprising value and the rare errors that make it a true gem for anyone who loves coins. You absolutely don't want to miss a single detail in this video because the 1967 quarter holds more importance than most people realize, and there are specific variations that are fetching hundreds of dollars in today's market. If you're a collector or even just someone curious about valuable coins, trust me, this is one you need to pay attention to. Let's dive into why this coin is so unique. First of all, the year 1967 falls right in the middle of a very unusual period in U.S. coin history. During this time, the U.S. Mint had temporarily removed mint marks from all coins as part of a measure to fight coin hoarding and keep coins in circulation. So unlike most other years, the 1967 quarter has no mint mark at all, which already makes it stand out. But here's where it gets really exciting: the errors. Some 1967 quarters have been found struck on silver planchets left over from earlier minting periods, which instantly makes them incredibly rare. Just imagine a quarter from 1967 that should have been copper nickel but was accidentally made from silver. Now that's a discovery worth shouting about. There are also other striking errors from that year that increase value dramatically, like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and double dies, especially where you can see doubling on the word Liberty or In God We Trust on the front of the coin. One of these double die errors was once sold in a coin show in Orlando for several $100s. And another one with an off-center strike was sold privately in Seattle for even more. Now for all the collectors out there, here's a valuable tip you shouldn't ignore. Always check your 1967 quarters under proper lighting with a magnifier and focus on both the edges and the lettering. If the edges look incomplete or you spot even the slightest doubling in the text, you might be holding onto something truly rare. Another great strategy is to weigh your 1967 quarters. A standard clad coin should weigh about 5.67 grams, but if you find one that's heavier, it might just be struck on a silver blank. Those are extremely rare and highly desired among serious collectors. So don't let an old coin fool you. Take your time, examine carefully, and you might just uncover something amazing. And don't forget about condition. coins from 1967 that are still in mint state or uncirculated condition are harder to find because they weren't saved in mint sets during that year. Most were used up in everyday transactions, which means finding one with full luster and no wear is a big deal. Keep them safe in coin flips or holders and avoid touching them with bare hands to maintain their value. Now here comes the moment you've been waiting for. How much are these coins really worth? A regular 1967 quarter in circulated condition won't go for more than its face value, but a rare one with strong doubling or a silver planchet error can easily sell for over $450 in today's collector market. Some have even reached $500 in auctions held in cities like Denver and Tampa when sold to the right buyer in the right condition. So next time you come across a 1967 quarter, don't ignore it or toss it back in the jar. That little coin could be the key to something much bigger than just 25 cents. Keep your eyes open, look closely, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find one of these valuable treasures that so many collectors are still searching for today. Top 5, and last rare coin. Have you ever held a coin that seemed completely normal, just an everyday quarter, but deep down it carried hidden value and untold history? Well, let me tell you, the 1984 United States quarter dollar is one of those coins that collectors are chasing right now. There's something about this particular year that makes it more than just pocket change, and if you're a collector or just someone curious about valuable coins, you definitely don't want to miss a single second of this video, because what you're about to discover could change the way you look at your change forever. The 1984 quarter may look common, but there are very specific details and error varieties that can make this coin worth far more than 25 cents. And trust me, some of these have already made their way into auctions, coin shows, and private collections for prices that would absolutely shock anyone who just thought it was a regular coin. Let's break down what makes this coin so special. First of all, 1984 was a strong production year. Millions of quarters were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, but with large-scale minting also came mistakes, and those mint errors are exactly what serious collectors are searching for. Some 1984 quarters have been found with dramatic off-center strikes where part of the design is missing or shifted way to one side. These are instantly more valuable, but the real prize among 1984 quarters is the double die obverse error. This is where you'll notice bold doubling, especially on the word liberty or in God we trust, on the front of the coin. You won't need a microscope to spot some of these. The doubling is clear and it turns a normal coin into a highly collectible treasure. One of these double die 1984 quarters was sold at a coin show in Atlanta for several $100s, and another found in Michigan sold through a private auction for even more because it was in almost perfect condition. For collectors and coin hunters out there, here's a tip that you must remember: always look closely at the lettering on your 1984 quarters. Use a bright light and a simple magnifier to check the details and make sure you don't overlook those key signs of doubling or striking issues. And if you find one that looks off-center or has a broad strike, meaning the rim looks stretched or flattened, that could be another error worth holding onto. And pay attention to the coin's condition. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1984 quarter in mint state condition with no wear and full luster, you've got something that stands out from the rest. Most coins from that year were used up in circulation, so finding one that's sharp, shiny, and uncirculated is becoming harder and harder, which naturally drives up the value. Always protect your coins properly too. If you spot a 1984 quarter with any signs of error or in beautiful condition, store it in a safe coin flip or plastic holder to prevent scratches or damage. A tiny detail could be the reason your coin fetches a high price at a future coin show or online auction, so treat it with care from the very start. Now let's talk real numbers, because I know that's what everyone's wondering. What's the value of a 1984 quarter with rare features? While a regular circulated 1984 quarter will only be worth face value, a double die obverse error in excellent condition has sold for over $420 at a coin show in New York, and another with a dramatic off-center strike reached $560 in a private collector sale in Phoenix. This coin is becoming harder to find in top condition, and with the growing interest in error coins and modern varieties, the 1984 quarter has now become one of the most exciting pieces for collectors to hunt. Whether it's the bold doubling or a dramatic mint error, these coins are in high demand and their value continues to grow as more people discover their hidden potential. So before you spend your next quarter, take a closer look. especially if it says 1984, because that simple coin might just be your key to something rare, valuable, and totally unforgettable.